What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Well, welcome to Uncle Jack Live VR. Right. So here I am. I'm gonna start it off with a song. La 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 la. Do you wanna look good tonight? Come out with me. Even head in town like we used and walk free, yeah. 'Cause there is no way of ever knowing what awaits us but the sun. When your love comes round, we've only begun. We can walk down by the beach. The beach. Just you and me. We've got life underneath our feet. Happy as can be. Can you help me, please? 'Cause I'm down here on my knees. Only your love can rescue me. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la, la 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 la. Okay, that was a good opener. Round of applause, everybody. So, you're probably wondering what this is. This is a add-on to a main game. Well, it's free if you've got the VR, and basically you can watch recordings and stuff, play them. There's tons around the other side as well, and this is just a VR experience of just to get you into the game a bit. We happy few, so it's basically get you into the story and stuff. So Uncle Jack is the guy who presents the show in the game. Right, what's that bottom one? Wacky Wacky. Okay, everybody, Wacky Wacky. Yeah, Uncle Jack is the presenter, and you can watch all his shows and music as I just played first. So yeah, if you do want to see more like this, leave a like and a comment and subscribe for more. And the more subscribers I do get, the more well, I'll be starting giveaways. So do be sure to stay tuned. All you have to do is be a subscriber. That's all. Let's play Wacky Wacky. Oh, Wakey Wakey. Oh, it's Wakey Wakey.
And it's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. The sun is up, and the weather is overcast and only slightly rainy, with occasional patches of lovely sunshine. Wakey Wakey, everyone. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, dear friends. Good morning to you. Well, I hope you all had a lovely night's sleep with lovely dreams. It's shaping up to be a wonderful morning, and I think I can promise you that it's just going to get better all through the day. We all forget things from time to time. So don't forget the most important thing. Is it your tea? Is it your muesli? Is it bacon and eggs?
Yes.
Is it toast? Did you forget to butter your toast? No, don't be silly. It's your daily joy. Never forget to take your joy, and I guarantee your day will go swimmingly. So, let's take a look at today's schedule. What's going on in the village of Hamlin? Well, chatting and greeting and smiling and laughing, of course, and breakfast, lunch and dinner, and work. But at 3, I hope you'll all take a quick break for our daily recreational activity. Today we will all gather round the telly for a rousing round of Simon Says.
Yay!
I won't be gathering round the telly. I'll be in the telly. Just like every day, I'll be playing it with you. And then there'll be cake and prizes for all winners, and everyone's a winner, and everyone will be there. So don't miss it, or you're a rotten egg. But seriously, unless you have an awfully good reason, such as 2 broken legs, do be a sport at 3 o'clock, won't you? We love your company. And now, the hot new song from our favourite band. See you soon.
And there you have it. And the more you watch, the more keys you unlock to unlock these padlocks and things like that. And yeah, so I have to watch all these 5 before I can choose another category. Stuff like that. Breast off. Let's try breast off. It's just a background image. And you can change the slides. See? And that counts as a few. And every 5 you watch, you can unlock a key. And now, this is a story trailer. So, this is what the game's going to be like. I'll put this in, so you get a heads up. Well, it's a teaser, really. Let's see.
Truth is the enemy of happiness. Isn't that the decision we all made?
Oh. But you know the truth, don't you? There's not a thing I can tell you that you don't already know. Is there?
Have you had your joy, Ollie?
People in town are getting a tad bit skinny. I think they're starving to death. And they're painting the streets in fucking rainbows. Have you not noticed?
Oh, Ollie.
Why are you all wearing those ridiculous new masks?
You should get one. They shape your face into a smile. And when you smile, you can't help being happy.
We have to tell people. They need to know the truth.
No! It's better not to know.
Wakey, everybody. And it's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. Do what you should be doing, and you never have to worry.
Sally?
Arthur, we're practically the only 2 people in this entire city not stoned out of our minds on joy.
It's not a lovely day for it. It's a fucking terrible day for it.
If you force people to have the emotions you want, then you've turned them into robots made out of meat.
Where is it? Where's the blackberry?
You've gone too far this time.
People won't face facts. Not until we take their joy. And when we do that, they'll murder each other in the street.
So yeah, basically people are hooked on this drug called joy. It just makes them happy and stuff. Let's watch Humor Hour 3.
Hello. Welcome to today's edition of Humor Hour, the show where you tell me jokes. Well, actually, I tell the jokes, but you send them in. And the first joke comes from Mr. Prentice Gibson of Claverton Town. Mr. Gibson says, what do you call 3 downers at the bottom of the sea? Not enough downers. Very good. We're starting off very strong today, aren't we? This one is from Brian E. Ditton of Collier's Lane. What's the difference between a downer and a trampoline? You take off your shoes before you jump on a trampoline. How true! How very true! I mean, you don't want to damage a perfectly good trampoline, do you? Very good indeed. This is from Mrs. Jemima Hughes of Coronation Avenue. And the joke is, if you see a drowning downer, what do you throw him? I don't know, a brick, an anvil? Well, no, you can't very well throw an anvil, can you? What about a grenade? No. Who has grenades these days? Answer, another downer! I told you it was good. That's wonderful. It's very good. You see, they both drown. And here's another one. How do you save a drowning downer? Answer, who cares? Very good. Lovely jokes. Lovely jokes today. Very funny indeed. And here's one from, not that one, no, this one here. It's from Clive Pritchard of Sladebrook Road. Mr. Pritchard, what do you have for us today? Question. How is a puppy like a mortally wounded downer? Answer. Eventually they'll both stop whining. Oh, Mr. Pritchard, you're quite a character, aren't you? Oh. You know, I miss my dog. What am I saying? I don't miss anything at all. I've got it all right here. Let's see what else we've got. Yes, we have something from our dear friend and faithful contributor, Mr. Persky Blackyoung. Yes, as you can tell from his name, Mr. Blackyoung isn't actually a real Englishman. He's an Afrikaner from South Africa, but he's doing his patriotic best to fit in. So, what do you have for us today, Mr. Blackyoung? Question. How is a downer like an apple? Answer. They both look good hanging from a tree. I'm not sure I get it. Oh, I see. Yes, very good. Hanging from a tree. Here's another one. What's the difference between a downer and a black plague? Well, one is a deadly organism that can destroy an entire city, and the other is a bacterium. Oh, very good. Well, I think it's going to be hard to top that one, but we must slog on, eh? It's one of our greatest English virtues. I have one here from Mr. Thomas Henchley of Longbottom Circle. What have you got for us, Mr. Henchley? Question. Why do we bury downers 20 feet underground? Answer. Because deep down, they're really nice people.
Oh.
Deep down, yeah. I think that's the best one of all. It really is. Very good. Remember, no one has to be a downer, but if you feel a bit down, take your joy. And if you see someone who seems a bit down, make sure he takes his joy. It's as simple as that. Happiness is a choice, and those who won't choose it are a threat to the rest of us. If you hear a good joke, please don't hesitate to drop a note marked Humour Hour at our studio, 2 Marlborough House in central Wellington Wells. Yes, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again next time for the best in humour. See you soon.
Bye. Now that's the whole category done. Let's pick another one. Right, Zombieland, Emerald City, Simon Says, Joy Fight, I Hear You, Nighty Night, Play with Jack, Kickstarter, Load Screen, Duplicator Music, Seaside Town, Gamescom, that'll be like another trailer, Smiling Crime, Georgie Joy, Humor Hour 2, that'll be another one of those. I Hear You 2, Nighty Night 3, Art Book Teaser, News Hour, Nighty Night, Curious Behavior on Cloud 9, When You're Gone, Dead of Winter, Partner Trailer, Wakey Wakey, Play with Jack, Nighty Night, Humor Hour 2, Dead Cuffed, Sunny Day, Joy, Out of the Blue, News Hour. See, there's more on that side as well, so you can go on forever. Right, they're the ones we just done. Let's do this one. There you go, unlocked. And now I need to watch 5 more to unlock a key. So we got Zombieland, Emerald City, Simon Says, Joy Fight, E3 trailer. Let me go on Zombieland. Sing along if you know the words. All your crying gets me down in the gutter. Where you are? Right, I'm not familiar with the words.
Second's time, I can make your sorrow fun if you let me try. Just put out your little hand, my darling one, and I'll give you mine.
Cheer up, baby, baby. Cheer up now, now. Cheer up, baby, baby. Cheer up now. I can give you back the world that you're pining for. Smiling like a little child in a candy store. The toys come to life when you're on your side. Again. Cheer up, baby, baby. Cheer up now, now. Cheer up, baby, baby. Cheer up now. Cheer up, baby, baby. Cheer up now, now. Cheer up, baby, baby. Cheer up now. Cheer up, baby, baby. Cheer up now, now. Cheer up, baby, baby. Cheer up now. Dum. Well, there you have it. Cheer up, baby. Emerald City, let's go there. And it's another, just a picture viewer. All the colours. And again. Yeah, okay. Let's go, Simon Says. Oh. Okay, I didn't realise it was just a song. Okay. There you go. It's another backdrop thing. Okay, Joy Fight. Oh, it's more music. E3. Let's go E3. Trailer. La la. Happy people have no history. Right, let's continue.
Oh, heavens no. Oh, God.
It's very dangerous to put your hand outside the windows of the train.
I should just take my joy, shouldn't I? Percy! Percy!
What have you been up to? No one's seen you for hours.
Oh, nose to the grindstone, you know.
Then why haven't I heard a single whoosh through the door since 10 o'clock? Did you forget we're having Deirdre's birthday party?
Oh.
We've got a piñata.
Right. Brilliant. Of course.
Have you forgotten your joy?
Of course not. Snug as a bug on a drug.
Well, come on then, finish up.
Just have a few more pages. I know you're very busy.
Then don't take too long to finish. Well, I expect you in the conference room presently. Don't dawdle. You don't want to miss the piñata.
Wasn't Prudence supposed to be coming back today? I made her a welcome back card. Do you think the canister wonders what life's like outside the tube? Of course he'd have to break the tube to get out. Well, that would break it for everybody. You're not coming back, are you, Prue? But where did you go? We seem to be a bit behind in our work.
Only you know how much you need. Or just ask a doctor and he'll fix you right up. Even if you've got to ask. But look, there are some things that
There you are. You nearly missed the piñata. It's the most adorable Spanish custom. Uncle Jack did a whole show about it. You smash it until all the candy comes out. Come on, hit it. Hit it. Hit it.
Give it a whack!
Hit it. Hit it. You are off your joy. Take one of mine. Oh, my lord. He's a downer. Call security. We've got a downer.
So yeah, if you don't take your joy, which is a drug, everybody can notice and they'll hunt you down until you take it. And you lose all your control over your body having that stuff. So, right, I can pick another category now. Play with Jack, load screen, let's see. Let's do this one. Okay, humor hour. Let's play with Jack. Let's do this one.
And now, it's time for our daily recreational activity. To show where you're the star. Come on, everybody. It's time for everyone to gather in front of the telly. And if you're inside, be sure to go and find a telly outside. This game is much more fun to play in a crowd. Today, we're going to be playing Simon Says.
Yay!
Are you ready to play?
Yes.
Okay, begin. I didn't say Simon Says, I got you already. Now, you all know the rules, don't you? I'm going to tell you to do something, but if I don't say Simon Says, you don't do it. If I do say Simon Says, you do it. Okay? Ready?
Yeah.
Is everybody ready?
Yes.
You there. Are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, come on, don't be shy. You know you want to. Of course you do. There's a good lad. Everybody give him a hand. Ah, no, wait a minute. I didn't say Simon Says.
Oh.
Okay. Simon Says, begin. All right. Simon Says, put your hands on your head. Simon Says, touch your feet. Simon Says, never mind. Clap your hands. Da.
Oh,
Yes,
you got me.
You there. You're out.
Oh.
And you too. You're out. Go on. Out you go. Good. Ah.
I'm the producer. I'm the producer. You can't fire me. I'm still here. Anyway, let's continue.
But you got out, so yes, you're out. You have to be very careful. All right. Simon Says, lift your right knee. Simon Says, lift your left knee.
Okay, you can't see
Lift
it.
both your knees. And if you're on the floor, well, you didn't wait for Simon, did you? Did you know that Simon Says was invented in 1266 when Simon de Montfort had control of King Henry III? And no matter what King Henry ordered, it didn't matter until Simon Says. Clap your hands. Oh, I did say Simon Says, you see.
I done
said
it.
it as part of another sentence, so yes, you and you're out. Simon Says you're out. Well, you're all doing brilliantly. Isn't this fun, eh? I think it's great fun. Simon Says, have fun.
Yay!
Simon Says, flap your arms. Simon Says, flap them again. And again. No!
Oh, he
You
said.
flap them a third
Oh.
time, you're out. Simon Says, banana bread. Oh my God, I don't even know why I said that. I don't even know what it means.
Don't know.
Simon Says, jump.
Yay!
Simon Says, skip in place.
Yay!
Simon Says, patty cake.
Pat to kick.
Simon Says, jump again.
Yay!
Simon Says, kick. Clap.
Yay! Well, I can't
Simon says,
kick.
flap.
Flap.
Flap. Simon Says, jump.
Hey!
Simon Says, spin. Simon says,
Oh.
put your hands on your hips. Simon Says, put your head on your knees.
What?
Simon Says, put your head on your hands.
Okay.
Put your hands on your hips.
What?
Simon Says, jump.
I'm terrible at this.
I didn't say Simon Says. So you there, listen carefully. I didn't say Simon Says. You must listen to me very carefully or you'll be out. Please extinguish all cigarettes. I'm just kidding. Who has cigarettes anymore? If you do, Simon Says, give me one.
Yeah, have it.
Simon Says, scratch your head. Simon Says, shout.
Ah!
Wow! Very good. That was brilliant. Run in circles. I didn't say Simon Says.
Oh.
Simon Says, ignore my next command. Simon Says, fall on the ground. Simon Says, don't jump. Jump.
Jump.
Don't jump.
What?
Simon Says, jump.
Jump.
Sing Rule Britannia. Ah, you all have very lovely singing voices, but I didn't say Simon Says. No. Simon says, fall down. Get up. Simon says, roll over. Simon says, stand up.
Yeah.
Yes, brilliant. That was terrific. It was really very, very good. And I hope all of you had a fantastic time. I trust you all brought cake, because I did promise cake, and I hate to be a liar. Well, the game is over. Simon says, spin. Simon says, now the game is over. Simon says, I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again next time for another rousing daily recreational activity. Thank you all for playing. See you soon.
Yay! Okay, let's go for Humor Hour.
Welcome to today's edition of Humor Hour, the show where you tell me jokes. Well, actually, I tell the jokes and you send them in. And the first joke comes from Winston Smith of Basingstoke Road. Let's see what Winston has to tell us. Dear Uncle Jack, I love your show, especially Humor Hour, blah, 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 blah. And here's one for you that always cracks us up. Question, how can you tell a German from a pickle? Answer, you can't. You can't tell a German anything. Very good, Winston Smith. Thank you for that.
Disclosure, none of all of this stuff, I'm not saying it at all. It's Jack on the TV. It's part of the show. Nothing to do with me. Okay, just to let you know, disclaimer there.
Can't tell a German anything. And this one here is from Cyril Price of Wexley Crescent. Price. My grandfather was a crack shot. Why, he shot 5 Germans, and that was only last year. Yes, I mean, you can never be too careful, can you? That's from Mr. Cyril Price of Wexley Crescent. Thank you, Cyril. It's very funny. Now, what do we have now? It's from Mr. Michael Tunbridge of Upper Stokely Road. Question. What did the German say as he pushed his brother off a cliff? Answer, look, Mama, no hands.
Sorry.
I love it. No hands.
The way he said it was quite funny. Sorry for any Germans watching.
Those Germans.
Bad jokes. Bad jokes.
And here is from our faithful contributor, yes, Mr. Persky Blatyang. What have you got for us today, Mr. Persky Blatyang? Question. What do you call an angry German? Answer. A sauerkraut. Hang on a minute. I don't get it. Joke? Of course it is. I don't understand. Is this a joke? Why would you call it a sauerkraut? Is this some kind of English word play? Mr. Pesky Blatchang, very good. Mr. Pesky Blatchang, as I said, of Duke of Leicester Street. And this is from Mrs. Helen Corcoran of Orange Circle. What's the best way to start a German joke? Answer, by looking over your shoulder. Yes, that's very good, looking over your shoulder. It's funny and it's also very sound advice, eh?
Yeah, when no one's
Anyway,
watching.
One from Mrs. Millie Dench from King's Head in Hamlin. Question. Question. What did the Germans say to the English clock that went tick, tick, tick? Answer. We have ways of making you talk. We have ways of making you talk. Isn't that good? I love it. Very good indeed. Well, I don't think we're going to be able to top that one. If you do hear a good joke, don't hesitate to drop us a note marked Humour Hour at our studio, 2 Marlborough House, in the centre of Wellington Wells. And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again next time for the best in humour. See you soon.
Okay. Partner trailer. Let's go with this one. Game trailer. Compulsion Games. Gearbox Publishing. No, it's the police. Uh-oh. Ugh.
I want you to have this.
Got you.
You have no right to touch me!
You look like a bed and breakfast. And yearning shall avail thee not.
Are you sure it's safe to get that close?
Lift you. Move along, please. What's done is done.
Get yourself back to the garden.
Very good.
Ah, so that's what happens. They just force-fed him some joy. And now he's happy. And high.
Hi, Cortex. Long time no see.
Oh. You made me jump. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just see who that was. Blue screen, 1 second. Hey DeFreeze, how you doing, man? Long time no see indeed. It's been a couple of weeks. Ooh, excuse me. Right, let's go wakey wakey.
And it's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. The weather is a bit wet, but that's the lovely thing about English weather. The sun always comes out in the end. So come on out, or you'll miss it. Wakey,
I'm
wakey, everyone.
fine. You?
Good morning to you.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Just watching some good TV, and you're here to join me in VR mode. Look, there's my hands. Whoa, I'm going mad. It must just be all the joy. Let's continue.
Good morning to you. Good morning, dear friends. Good morning to you.
Me.
I do hope you had a lovely night's sleep and left all the troubles of the day in dreamland. That is, if you have any troubles. Remember what was bothering you yesterday?
Nope.
I certainly hope not. Well, today is going to be even better. Now, we all forget things from time to time. So don't forget the most important thing. Did you leave the stove on? Did you remember to shave? Did you wash your hands? Did you brush your teeth? I hope you did all these things, but they're not the most important thing. And that is, as we all know, did you take your joy today? Never forget to take your joy, and I guarantee your day will go as smooth as velvet. So, let's take a look at today's schedule. What's going on in the village of Hamlin? Well, selling and buying, of course, and wandering hither and thither, and marketing and talking about the weather, and smiling and laughing, of course. I insist on it. But at 3, I hope you'll all take a quick break for our daily recreational activity. Today we'll once again all gather round the telly for a rousing round of Simon Says.
Yay!
So, I wish I could join you, good people. Actually, I will join you. I'll be doing it from this chair. I'll be calling the tune, if you will, just like every day. I'll be your Simon, except when I'm not. And don't forget, there'll be cake and prizes for all winners, and everyone's a winner, and everyone will be there. So don't miss it, or the villagers will break your legs. And then where will you be when Simon says, jump like a frog?
In the hospital.
You'll be writhing on the ground, won't you? But seriously, unless you have an awfully good reason, such as being recently deceased, do be a sport at 3 o'clock, won't you? We love your company. And now, the brilliant new song from our favourite new band. See you soon.
Well, there you have it. Alright, and one more, which is Nighty Night number 2. I haven't watched the first one, so it's going to mess up the story. Oh, look, there's Nighty Night number 7. So it does go on for a while, depending on how many there is. Let's go number 2 then. It's just the order I've been given.
Well, it's getting late, isn't it? And it's time for all good citizens to be getting ready to go to bed. Would you like me to read you a bedtime story?
Yes.
Of course you would. Well, gather round, citizens, gather round, and I'll tell you a bedtime story. After a while, the wolf heard Little Red Riding Hood knocking on the door. "Who is it?" sang out the wolf. "It's Little Red Riding Hood," said Little Red Riding Hood. "Come and see in here," sang out the wolf. Come in." "Mother, I've come to bring you a pie and some milk," said Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah, good. Put some on the cupboard. I will eat and drink some later," said the wolf. And Little Red Riding Hood did as she was told. "You sound different," said Little Red Riding Hood. "Ah, I'm not myself today," said the wolf. "You know how it is. Why don't you have some wine?" said the wolf. "Set the bottle on the table." So Little Red Riding Hood drank her mother's blood.
Oh.
And the cat said, "Meow, you're drinking your mother's blood." But the wolf said, "Oh, do cats ever tell the truth? Throw a shoe at the cat and he won't bother you anymore." So Little Red Riding Hood threw her left shoe at the cat, and he never bothered her again. "That makes me hungry," said Little Red Riding Hood. "I got you some ham," said the wolf. "Why don't you make yourself a ham sandwich?" So Little Red Riding Hood made a ham sandwich out of her mother's ham, and she ate it right up. "This is delicious," she said. "Squeak," said a mouse. "You're eating your mother's flesh." "Oh, the mice, they're always lying," said the wolf. "Anyway, you can't be picky about your food these days. Throw your other shoe at the mouse, and he'll never bother you again." So Little Red Riding Hood threw her right shoe at the mouse and killed it. Never bothered her again. "What should I do now, Mother?" asked Little Red Riding Hood. "Take off your clothes and get in the bed with me,"
Oh.
said the wolf. "Well, what should I do with my apron?" asked Little Red Riding Hood. "Throw it in the fire. You won't need it anymore." So Little Red Riding Hood threw her apron in the fire. "What shall I do with my dress?" she asked the wolf. "Throw it in the fire. You won't need it anymore," said the wolf. So Little Red Riding Hood threw her dress in the fire. "What shall I do with my petticoat?" asked Little Red Riding Hood. Throw it in the fire. You won't need it any more. So Little Red Riding Hood threw her petticoat in the fire. That is good enough, said the wolf. Cut it here, next to me. So Little Red Riding Hood got under the blankets with the wolf. Oh, mother, said Little Red Riding Hood, what big eyes you have. Oh, the better for seeing in the dark, said the wolf. Oh, mother, said Little Red Riding Hood, what a long nose you have. Oh, the better for smelling you, said the wolf. And don't you smell delicious, my sweet?
Uh-oh.
Oh, mother, said Little Red Riding Hood, what long teeth you have. Oh, the better for eating you, my dear, said the wolf, and he ate her right up. And then he ran off into the forest and was never seen again. Little girl, this seems to say, never stop upon your way. Never trust a stranger friend. No one knows how it will end. As you're pretty, so be wise. Wolves may lurk in every guise. Handsome they may be, and kind, sweet or charming. Never mind. Now as then, 'tis simple truth. Sweetest tongue hath sharpest tooth. And that's the story of Little Red Riding Hood and the wolf. What a wonderful story. I hope you enjoyed hearing it as much as I enjoyed reading it. Do you want to know what the real moral is?
Go on.
The real moral of the story is, don't go out at night, or the wolf will kill you. And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again tomorrow for another bedtime story. Good night, all. See you tomorrow.
Wow, what a story. What a creepy story. Right, I've unlocked the key. Let's see what I can get. Right, I've already got them. Aha, play with Jack. Let's do that one. That's a good one. See if there's any good Simon Says this time.
And now, it's time for our daily recreational activity, the show where you're the star. Come on, everyone. It's time for everyone to get out of the street and find a telly to watch. This game is so much more fun with all of your friends and fellow citizens. Today is a very special episode of our favorite Simon Says.
Hey!
Have you ever wondered if you're ready in case the Germans ever came back? Would you know how to defend yourself against the marauding Bosch? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Now let's play Simon Says. Ha ha! Yeah, I didn't say Simon Says. You all know the rules, don't you? I'm going to tell you to do something, but if I don't say Simon Says, you don't do it. If I do say Simon Says, yes.
You do it.
All right. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
You there. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. Yes, that's the Wellington Wells spirit. Everybody give him a hand.
Hey.
No. I
Oh.
say Simon Says. All right then. Now what I want everyone to get themselves a weapon. Cricket, bat,
Okay.
or crowbar,
Banana.
anything like that.
No.
And all
Trumpet.
you have is a banana, well, that's
Oh.
fine.
Whoa.
Actually, if you do have a banana, just drop it here at the station and I'll swap you for it for a slightly used mallet. Good. Simon Says, raise your weapon. Simon says, swing right. Simon says, swing left. Simon says, swing right. Ha ha, yes. I can see I already got a few people out there. If you swung left, then you're out. The Germans got you. Fall to the ground, eviscerated. I'm just joking. You can never be too careful. All right, then. Simon says, swing left. Simon says, swing right. Simon says, lunge. Simon says, parry. Lunge. Ah! Yes, you. You're out. Remember, the lunge is your finishing blow. Save it for when your enemy's on your back.
Okay.
No matter what Simon says. Did you lunge? You were supposed to. I did say Simon Says. You see, I just said it in bits. Yes. So you and you're out. Simon says, you're out. Very good. You're all beautiful. Yes. Go on, give it to me. Simon says, give it to me. Yes, very good. Simon says, take a step forward. Simon says, take a step back. Simon says, swing right. Simon says, swing left. Simon says, finishing blow. Step back.
Oh,
Simon says, shout. Yeah. Simon says, raise your weapon. Simon says, have fun. Brilliantly, very good. Simon says, jump. Simon says, parry. Simon says, dodge.
Dodge.
Simon says, lunge.
Lunge.
Simon says, victory beat is wonderful.
Yay.
Captain says, swing left. Ha-ha.
Oh.
I didn't say Simon says. Simon says, don't do the next thing I say. Simon says, jump. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Simon says, run in circles. Simon says, stay in place. Simon says, lunge. Lovely. Simon says, sing Rule Britannia.
Rule Britannia, Britannia rule the waves. Britain never ever shall be slain.
Good. Simon says, swing right. Simon says, swing left. Simon says, swing right. Ah!
Oh.
You there. Simon says, run along. Go on.
Oh.
All right. Simon says, fall down. Simon says, get up. Simon says, roll over. Simon says, stand up. Brilliant. Simon says, do everything I do, I shouted, even if I don't say Simon says. Swing right. Swing left. Swing low. Swing chariot. Lunge. Lunge. Again, lunge. Again, step forward. Right. Left. Right. Lunge. Lunge. Yes, finish him. Fatality. Oh, yes. That was terrific. Very, very good. I hope you all had a fantastic time.
Oh.
Oh, I trust you all brought cake because I did, and I did promise cake, and I hate to be a liar. Well, I'm afraid the game is over. Simon says, spin. Simon says, now the game is over. And Simon says, I hope you all enjoyed yourself immensely.
Yes.
Did. We've come to the end of our time. Tune in again next time for another rousing daily recreational activity. Thank you all for playing.
Bye. That was a fun one. I like that one. What's this bottom one? Load screen. Nah, that's just going to be a clip. Broadcast will resume. Oh. Nah. It's just a bit. Alright, let's kickstart it. Let's try this.
And that was a peek at the exciting new game, We Happy Few. And it's all set in our very own city, Wellington Wells. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to have with us here in the studio the creative director of We Happy Few. Please welcome Mr. Guillaume Prevost.
Thanks for having me on the show, Jack.
Tell me, Guillaume, why make a game all about us?
Well, we like England.
Yes?
We like the 60s.
Oh, yes?
We love dystopia.
Dystopia? More like utopia, because, well, let's face it, we're all so happy here. Do you know the secret behind the famous Wellington Wells smile? Well, it's the miraculous little pill, ingeniously called joy. And it helps us forget anything bad that might have happened to us. And life is just wonderful every day.
Yeah, so back in the war, when the Germans invaded England and...
What an imagination this fellow has. What an imagination. Of course, none of us had to do anything terrible when the Germans were here. No. At least, I can't remember anything. Can you?
Right. So as the player, you're not actually taking joy. You're off your meds. You're trying to escape the city before it all comes crashing down on you.
That sounds awful. Why would anybody stop taking their happy pills? Do you know what we call people who don't take their joy? Downers, Jason. And do you know what we do with downers? We give them a jolly good thrashing until they take their joy. That's what we do.
In the game, you actually play as a downer. And as you roam around the city, you get to explore its lore and history. And you discover how it got to be the way that it is.
I believe you brought a clip.
That's right, we brought a clip.
Roll the clip.
Clip, clip.
I remember now. You came back from the station. The only one.
You don't think they hurt him, Percy?
The Germans aren't animals, you know. They just wanted to make sure we stay quiet. And we did. Spot of tea.
Funny man.
You see, the people in We Happy Few aren't zombies. They just have peculiar expectations about how you should be. So if you walk down the street, smiling at everyone and wishing them a lovely day for it, everything will be perfectly fine. In a way, it's like hiding in plain sight. But if you do things that gamers normally do, like breaking into someone's home or wielding a bloody cricket bat on the street, the people are going to get very upset.
Yes, that is something that we frown upon here. Mm-hmm.
Now, you see, the problem is if you don't break the rules, you're probably going to starve. You are going to starve. You're definitely starving.
And if you do break the rules, people will beat you to a bloody pulp, won't they?
Which is why, as a last resort, you can always take a pill.
Well, why not as the first resort? Everybody loves it.
Jack, you'll overdose.
Well, what's wrong with a little overdose? I mean, so you forget where everything is, but then, brilliant, you've got a brand new town to explore.
When you die, and in We Happy Few, you'll die a lot, we generate a brand new city for you from scratch. From the topology of the terrain to the road arteries and the houses that fill up those networks, and the people that live in them, we generate a brand new journey for you to experience each time you start a new game.
Gwyneth, why don't you make a game all about the wonderful citizens of Wellington Wells beating downers senseless, you know, and then cramming joy down their throat, eh?
Cheer up, you bastard.
Yes.
Take it from Jack Worthing. That's me. We're talking smash hit. Anything else you'd like to tell our audience?
Yes, actually. We worked really hard on this game, and we're always on the lookout for more feedback. So if you like the project, or you want to see more of Uncle Jack, come join us. Help us make this game.
And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Geoffrey Porpoise, the creative director of We Happy Few. Stay tuned for my cooking show. That tastes amazing. What is it? This is Jack Worthing wishing you another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. First time in the telly?
Yeah. Yes.
You were a bit stiff at first, but I think you warmed up and I think you did really well.
Thank you, Jack.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you. I really like those trousers. Be on my stool. If anybody needs me.
We Happy Few. The game for you. Right. Okay, that's the bottom three done. Nighty Night, number 4. I Hear You, number 1. Let's go, I Hear You. Nope. It's not on. There we go. Just reset the clip.
And now, it's time for I Hear You, the part of our show where Jack Worthing, that's me, answers your letters and questions about our life in Wellington Wells. And today's first letter is from Charles Hawtrey of St. James Parade. Dear Uncle Jack, I always get eliminated early in Simon Says. It's so frustrating because I love Simon Says and I don't get to play very much of it before I get confused and I'm out. What can I do? Well, Charles, I'm so glad you care about Simon Says. It's one of my favorite games, as you probably know. In fact, sometimes I wish someone would come and be the announcer so I could come to Hamlin and play Simon Says. Say, what a lovely idea. Why don't you come here and I'll go there? Ah, yes, but that doesn't solve your problem, does it? How can you enjoy Simon Says Better? Well, I can't promise you a way to be less confused. After all, a bit of confusion is normal when you're taking your joy, and you don't want to cut down on your joy, do you? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. But look, just because you're out doesn't mean you can't keep playing. Just go to the sidelines and keep playing. After all, no one's going to arrest you for continuing to wave your arms around when I say wave your arms around, eh? I mean, when I say Simon Says move your arms around, right? Good. Well, I hope that's helpful, Charles. And thank you very much for writing. Here's another letter from Mrs. Gillian Overshaw of St. Giles Crescent. Mrs. Overshaw writes, Dear Uncle Jack, I found the most peculiar thing in my garden. Perhaps you can help me identify it. It has the general shape of a garden gnome. That is, it is short and squat and has a rounded pointy top, just like a gnome's pointy hat, but it's smooth and metal and nothing is painted on it. What is it? Should I make it into a lamp? If I get the hat off, it would make a perfect umbrella stand. I think I can get the hat off if I heat up the bottom part in the fireplace. What do you think? Oh, well, Mrs. Overshaw, I think what you might have here is an unexploded artillery shell. So, no, my dear, I would not particularly recommend heating it up in the fireplace. In fact, I would recommend not touching your garden gnome any further. Especially, do not drop it or drop anything on it. Now, if any of the heroes of the Home Army are listening to this broadcast, and I know some of you are, would you mind dropping by Mrs. Gillian Overshaw's place at 25 St. Giles Crescent and help her in disposing of this rather peculiar garden gnome? Thank you. There's a good chap. Well, this one is from Mrs. Susan Brimble of Northumberland Passage. Dear Mr. Worthing. Oh, Susan. There's no need to be so formal. You can call me Jack, or Uncle Jack. But don't call me Mr. Worthing, because that's my father. And definitely don't call me Mrs. Worthing. Anyway, dear Mr. Worthing, my husband stays a really long time in the bath. He comes home after work and immediately runs a bath. And he stays in it until it's time for dinner. Sometimes he even stays in there after I tell him it's time for dinner. Last night, I even brought him his dinner in the bath, and he left it there on the side of the sink. What's a wife to do? Well, Susan, or Sue. May I call you Sue? I'd like to think I can call you Sue. Susan, I'm not a doctor. I only play one on TV. But I do know some doctors, and I asked them about your husband. They think your husband might just need a little more joy in his life. He seems to be trying to soak it in through his skin, and, well, that takes a very long time, and it'll turn him into a prune. So please be sure that your husband pops a joy or two when he wakes up, and a joy or two before he goes to bed. And I think you'll be seeing a lot more of them in a considerably drier state. There are very few problems that joy won't make better. All right, Susie? Good. Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again tomorrow for more cheery answers to your questions about your life in Wellington Wells. This is Jack Worthing saying cheerio, and on with your day. I'll see you soon.
Okay, whoa, okay, 1 minute. Just 1 minute, I'm just checking my audio for a second. Let me just take that off for a moment. Alright. Alright, let's give it a minute. Right, yeah, my audio's working. For a second I wasn't too sure. Let me just get my headphone back on. Right, let's put that down. Ooh, sorry, 1 second, my headset's just a bit messed up. Well, my VR headset. Right, okay. Oh, hands upside down. Hold on, let me just get that on. Yeah, everything's on, everything's all good. Right, let's move the camera angle. There we go. Better. Right, last one is Nighty Night. Oh. Just a quick mention, anybody who is watching, you do want to see more like this, just leave a like, a comment on this video once it's uploaded, and be a subscriber. All you have to do to be a subscriber is click the subscribe button. Easy as that. But just to mention, if you are a subscriber, you are automatically entered into the channel giveaways. And yeah, when I hit a certain amount of subscribers, I'll be doing 3 different giveaways. So all you have to do is be a subscriber to be part of that. Straightforward. And you could win some prizes. So let's begin Nighty Night.
Well, it's getting late, isn't it?
Yes.
It's time for all good citizens to be getting ready to go to bed. Would you like me to read you a bedtime story?
Oh, yes, please.
Of course you would. I haven't finished the story of Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Well, gather round, citizens, gather round. I'll tell you how it ends. We last left Goldilocks fast asleep in the 3 bears' house. She's eaten Jane Bear's porridge and made a mess of the dining room and the bedroom. And she's still asleep in Jane Bear's bed. Well, soon enough, the 3 bears came home from their walk through the forest. They hadn't found many berries, just enough to flavour their porridge and keep them from getting scurvy, but they were looking forward to breakfast. But when they came into their dining room, they could see that something was not quite right. Henry Bear saw that there was a spoon sitting in the middle of his porridge. "Someone's been at my porridge," he said in his great big gruff bear voice. And then old Edward Bear saw that there was a spoon in his bowl of porridge. "And someone's been at my porridge too," said old Edward Bear. And Jane Bear looked at her bowl, and she was very upset. "Someone's been at my porridge too, and they ate it all up." Well, she was very upset indeed, for now she'd nothing to eat except for a few berries. Well, Henry Bear and old Edward Bear each gave her some of their porridge. But now they were all very hungry, because none of them had had enough to eat. And bears need to eat a lot of food when they can, because they know that winter is coming, and there won't be anything to eat.
Winter is coming, Game of Thrones fans. Woo! Okay, carry on.
Since they hadn't had enough to eat, they decided to rest a bit, because a sleep is a poor man's dinner. But when they got to the bedroom, old Edward Bear looked at his bed and saw how the covers had been thrown on the floor. And he said, "Someone's been lying in my bed." And Henry Bear looked at his bed and saw how the covers had all been rumpled, and he said, "Aye, and someone's been lying in my bed and all." And Jane Bear looked at her bed, and at first it looked like it was still neatly made. But then she saw Goldilocks. "And someone's been lying in my bed," she shrieked, "and she's still there." At that, Goldilocks woke up with a start, and she saw the 3 bears staring at her, and she screamed, "Get out! Get out, all of you! Get out of my house!" Maybe because she thought she was in her own house, or maybe she thought that she could take the bear's house from them if she could scream loud enough. So Henry Bear hit her with his big bear claw and knocked her head clean off her shoulders.
Oh.
They felt much better.
Oh.
Then they ate the rest of her, tore apart and ate her. They felt very good indeed, because now they'd had enough to eat. And all 3 of them lived happily ever after. And Goldilocks, she never bothered them again. And the moral of the story is, don't go wandering round at night, or you might get killed. Well, that's the story of Goldilocks and the 3 bears. What a wonderful story. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed reading it. And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again tomorrow for another bedtime story. This is Jack Worthing telling you to have a lovely night and pleasant dreams.
My God.
See you tomorrow.
Bye. does anybody actually remember the story of Goldilocks, how it ended? I don't ever remember her being eaten by the bears. Is that the actual end? Is that the real end of the story? Anybody who is watching? Anyway, that's all that category done. Let's pick another one. Where we got? Smile and Crime, Georgie George. I want to do some Simon Says. Humor Hour. When You're Gone. Okay, the rest I've done. Let's have a look on this side. Old Customs. Future House. Nighty Night. Wakey Wakey. Yeah, crazy story about the... what do you call it? Goldilocks. Yeah, Goldilocks military camp. Wakey Wakey. Nighty Night. Famous Britons. News Hour, I Hear You. There is a lot here. Gameplay. Hold on. Let me just set something up. Let me just see what there was. Playtime with Jack 2. So I don't think there's any more of them. There's only 2 of them. That's a bit weird. Would have hoped there would have been a third one. Let's try well. Top one.
And welcome to today's edition of Well, the show where we talk about how to be your physical best. Now, some of you have written in about feeling malaise and lethargy. Now, these are vague symptoms, and the first thing I can recommend to you is, if you're feeling a bit down in the dumps, pop another joy. Everybody wakes up feeling a little bit down sometimes. I call it waking down. And all you need to know is that you never have to feel bad about feeling bad. In fact, you don't have to put up with it at all. Being in Wellington Wells means never having to say, I'm sorry. Now, thanks to modern English science, we have the perfect fix for the blahs. Never be afraid to up your joy. Only you know how much you need, or just ask a doctor and he'll fix you right up. Even if you've got to ask him to. But look, there are some things that joy won't fix, though it'll certainly make you feel better about them. Let's say you feel perfectly happy, but you're just having a lot of trouble getting out of bed. What could it be? Ask yourself a few questions. Do you feel pain in your bones? Are you having trouble catching your breath? Do you find that you bruise easily? Are your teeth a little loose in their sockets and you're under 70 years old? Is your mouth often dry? Do you have scorbutic tongue? Other symptoms you might have are red or purple spots of the skin, especially on your legs that look like this. Do you find your muscles are sore even when you haven't been overusing them? Well, you may have scurvy. And congratulations, this is one of our traditional English enemies. And like all traditional English enemies, we've beaten it before, yes, and we'll beat it again. As you know, England has traditionally ruled the seas. Rule, Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Britons never, never, never shall be slaves. And that means that our ships have traditionally been out at sea for long stretches at a time. Sailors used to eat nothing but ship's biscuits and salt pork. I could do with some salt pork right now. But if you eat nothing but, you're going to get sick. You see, your body needs vitamin C. But biscuits and salt pork don't have any vitamin C. So sailors and long English voyagers will get sick. And they didn't have joy to make them feel any better either. Well, a lot of Englishmen put their scientific brains to the challenge, and it was soon discovered that fresh vegetables would cure the problem right away. But how do you get fresh veg on board a boat that's not going to dock for months? When Captain James Cook discovered that if you took limes on board, it could cure the sailors. But how do you get sailors to drink lime juice? Well, you put it in their rum, don't you? They're not going to give up their rum, are they? Even if it tastes a bit limey. And once they were drinking their daily rum with lime juice, they got to liking it. That was called grog. Yes, and that's why we Brits are called limeys, because we learned to put limes in our grog. Citrus fruits are just packed with vitamin C. So, why are you getting scurvy when you're not on a boat? Well, I'm afraid some of you have been a bit naughty.
Oh.
You're eating bread and meat, and you're not having your traditional English 2 veg. Some of you aren't even eating your potatoes. Imagine that. Well, bread does not contain vitamin C. And if you're eating millet bread or moss cakes, while they taste perfectly acceptable, they're not good sources of the C. And I'm sad to say, though I've developed quite a taste for it, victory meat does not contain any vitamin C at all.
Oh.
Canned and preserved meats are generally very poor sources of vitamin C. Now, if you were on Captain Cook's ship discovering Australia, New Zealand, and Hawaii, you'd just have a bit of grog and, well, it'd be right as English rain. But you probably haven't seen a lime or an orange or a lemon in a few years, and, well, neither have I. But not to worry. Most fresh meat contains vitamin C too. Lucky rats, they make their own vitamin C. So, if you can get some fresh meat at the butcher, you're all set. And if you can't get fresh meat, then most fresh veg contains lots of vitamin C. Now, you're going to have to restrain your cooking instincts a bit, because if you boil veg until they're nice and gummy, they'll boil out all the C. So, make sure you eat some of your veg fresh. Can't get fresh veg? Remember, lots of weeds contain vitamin C. Scurvy grass is named for stopping scurvy in its tracks. Sorrel has 48 milligrams of vitamin C for every 100 grams you eat. Chicory has 24. Clover and dandelions are smashing sources of vitamin C. And they're all around us. In fact, I think it's safe to say that just about anything that's green and grows in the ground contains some vitamin C. So in a pinch, just go round to the neighbours and ask if they'd mind terribly if you ate their tulips. I'm sure they'll be reasonable. And remember, no matter what, make sure you're taking enough joy. There's no excuse anymore for feeling bad. You don't have to. Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again next time when we'll talk about malaria. It's not nearly as bad as it sounds. Most people survive it. This is Dr. Jack Worthing saying my prescription for you is stay well, well, well.
Okay, that was well, well, well. And one moment, I can be right back in this room. Let's exit. Oh, camera's gone a bit weird. There we go. Wait. Right, Uncle Jack Live. Yeah, let's go Uncle Jack Live. Here we are in the broadcast room.
Oh dear, that sounds like the ventilator's a bit off. Shame, it sent a lovely whiff of joy into the air. Terribly sorry about the telly in there. People keep stepping on the cable. Oh, we're back again. Hello there.
Hello.
You'll be the winner of the Uncle Jack Fan Club's Get to Know Jack contest. At least I hope you are. Well, the bobbies at the front door have been very sloppy indeed. As you know, I'm Uncle Jack, and I'm always happy to meet my fans, especially if they can help me. Over on your right, you'll see the news feeding machine. That's how you feed me the news stories I'm supposed to read. To your right. Your right.
Yeah, there.
You'll see 3 news stories to choose from. Do try to give me a happy one, won't you? Some of the writers get a little mischievous. You can only feed me news after I finish reading the preview story. The machine will light up to tell you when to send me more. Isn't technology wonderful? You'll have to wait for me to finish the story I'm reading before you send me another one. get muddled, would you? No, of course not.
Are you too happy?
Oh, splendid. I'm sure you'll do a smashing job producing my show today. Just remember that we only wanted to see good news. Fortunately, all the news at Wellington Wells is good. Here we go. On in 5, 4, 3...
And now for the Good News Hour with Uncle Jack. That's me, Jack Worthing. I'll give you all the good news you need to start your day with a smile. Some people have noticed that the happier they get, the less they can do. If this is you, not to worry. You're just overdosing on joy. When you've had a little too much joy, about all you can really do is laugh and skip and run and play and wait till your joy comes down to a normal level. In the meantime, enjoy the pink chimney smoke and the lovely music that alarms make when they go off. And the jolly laughs that the bobbies make when they're protecting us from downers.
1984.
Have you ever wondered what life will be like in the future? Well, the Department of Science and Research is mounting a free exhibition that imagines what Wellington Wells will be like 20 years in the future, called the House of the Future. Scientists have dreamt up some wonderful inventions, and apparently there will be rides and cake. Why, 1984. Gosh, it's hard to imagine that 1984 will be anything like the Wellington Wells of today. It'll be even better. But I do hope I'll still be on your tellies every day.
Islands on the move.
Ooh, lovely. The Geological Society has awarded its highest honor to Charles Hutton Lyell for his recent discoveries on seismology. For years, the citizens of Wellington Wells have complained that they become lost as familiar landmarks appear in unexpected places. And here I thought it was just me forgetting where everything was. His new research proves that this phenomenon is not at all in your head. Our city happens to be located in an area of unusual seismic activity. Things really do move around. What a special place we live in, eh? Perseverance makes honor bright. Next card, please.
Cheeky machines.
We don't know who thought it would be amusing, but some of the village compliment machines have been offering rather backhanded praise. A citizen heard one say, "You look well for your age," and "What a creative hairdo." The executive committee has ordered a full inspection of village compliment machines. Should you encounter a cheeky compliment machine, kindly turn it off using the large red button and then report it to the nearest police constable. And don't worry, darling. You really do look marvelous.
New Simon Says host.
Next card, please. The legendary Simon Says contest at the Church of St. Genesius is back on! Yes! And the pop star Nick Lightbearer will be their celebrity caller. Mr. Lightbearer has become reclusive of late. His Christmas concert ended abruptly last year when the singer broke down in tears of joy and, well, he was unable to continue, even after fans appreciatively threw kitchen scraps on stage. His managers assure the singer's loyal fans that he no longer has the very bad cold that caused the rest of his concert series to be cancelled.
Nope.
No. Well, we seem to have had a bit of a blackout. The boys in the electrical room had a bit too much joy again, I'll wager. Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. I sincerely hope you all appreciate the fantastic job our producer has done.
I have done a good job. Something's going on over there.
Well, wasn't that exciting? I do wish you could be here, dear viewers. Well, it looks like somebody's having a party in the visitors' gallery. There are so many happy, excited people there. So many. Perhaps somebody ought to check in and, make sure that they're not breaking anything.
It doesn't sound like a party, man.
People tend to get carried away sometimes, don't they? Do you know what makes a party even better? Why, joy, of course. Yes, I bet we'd all have an even better time if somebody would just flood the visitors' gallery with joy, right? You can never be too careful. Any time now. Yes, just fire up that old ventilation system and spread the joy all around. Just like old Scrooge at Christmas.
What's going on, man?
And wouldn't we all love a nice Christmas turkey about now? You know, almost anything can be a Christmas turkey with enough joy. Seriously, if somebody would just do whatever it is that you do to turn on the joy in the ventilators.
Oh!
What's nice to hear that lovely joy, guys.
Oh.
Under your smile.
No one really wants that in his life.
Don't be afraid, all you gotta do is run. 'Cause when we were young, then we started.
Oh, I'm seeing butterflies. Whoa.
Let's try a stranger on for a while.
Good advertising.
Yay.
Yay. Indeed. Wow, I just been drugged. Again. Yeah. Well, what you know? That's what that is. And now back to the archive room. Yay, indeed. Oh, what's happening? There we are. Alright, back where we left it. Just gotta find the bit. See, the green lights indicate what I haven't watched yet. Okay. Hold on 1 second, let me just check my thing. It was you, Defreeze. You're still here. What's this bottom one? Military camp. Let's go military camp. Ooh. Oh, it's just the music. What's this one? No, not that one. Old customs. Okay.
And now it's time for Funny English Customs, the show in which Jack Worthing, that's me, illuminates our jolly island's ancient customs. Now, since the 1st of May is coming soon, let's talk about the ancient tradition of the maypole. Some people claim the maypole was a naughty Roman ritual about, well, we're all grown-ups here, aren't we? But we Brits, well, we've been dancing around the maypole for as long as we've been burning virgins in giant wicker men, haven't we? But we don't really do that anymore, do we? Apparently, though, the custom of men and women wrapping ribbons around the maypole by dancing only dates to Victorian times. It makes sense, doesn't it? Before that, really long ribbons were much too expensive, yes. A lot of ancient customs are really Victorian. For example, the idea that each Scottish clan has its own tartan pattern. Do you know who made that up? The novelist Walter Scott. Wally. Of course, you're liable to work up quite a burning thirst dancing round a maypole, aren't you? What's the perfect drink to put out those fires? Why, Summer Isle ale, of course. And the head brewer, Lord Summerisle, as they call him, has brewed up a very special medieval ale to sell only in the first week of May. It's called a gruit. Instead of hops, it's seasoned with marsh rosemary, bog myrtle, and yarrow. Take it from me, Jack Worthing. It's got a delightful twang of peach. You can't get peaches anymore, can you? May Day Gruit from Summerisle Ale quenches your burning thirst. Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of...
I got his hands. Look, same as the collar. Same collar. Same look.
About time. Tune in again soon for more Uncle Jack.
Bye. Okay, what we got? Exquisite minute.
And now it's time for the Uncle Jack Etiquette Minute. You may be wondering, how can I
Etiquette minute. I said it wrong.
fit in better in Hamlin Village? Well, it's easy. To get along, go along. If someone tells you it's a lovely day, agree with them. Because, of course, it's always a lovely day in Hamlin Village, so don't be afraid of talking to people first. They'll appreciate it. Now, I'm assuming, of course, that you're decently dressed. Huh? Clothes make the man, eh?
Yes.
Indeed, naked people have almost no influence at all in society. And don't dress in rags either, or people might think you're a wastrel. Now, what should you do if people are staring at you? Maybe they're asking you if you remember to take your joy. Who cares? Just pop another, and they'll congratulate you and go on about their day. And if things seem to be getting a bit hectic, remember, you can always sit on a bench, relax, and open the Hamlin au Courant. Take a load off. No one will bother you when you're sitting on a bench, unless you've made them very angry. Well, or, I don't know, watch Jack Worthing on television. I hear he's very good. Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in tomorrow for another Etiquette Minute with Jack Worthing. Let's move.
That was quick. Wakey Wakey is the last one.
Wakey, wakey, everyone. And it's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. I've looked at the weather report for you, and apparently it's going to be variable. Isn't that a surprise? Well, be sure to bring an umbrella or two as you go out on your daily rounds, and you'll be right as rain. Right as rain. Ha! I didn't even mean it like that. Well, wakey, wakey, everyone. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, dear friends. Good morning to you. Well, if you're in bed, you know what to do. Hop out, yawn, stretch, and get the tea ready. While the kettle's on, be sure to take your morning joy if you haven't already. We wouldn't be British without our tea, and we wouldn't be Wellies without our joy, would we? As you're sipping your tea, be sure to smile at just how lucky we are to be in Wellington Wells, where there are always rainbows after the rain.
Ah, nice cup of tea.
Always smile, and no one ever feels hungry or sad. It's good to smile as early as possible in the morning. That way, you know you've had enough joy. Well, what's going on in the village of Hamlin? Ah, this is interesting. At 10 o'clock, Mr. Hewitt of Dalrymple will be giving hopscotch lessons right out in front of Miss Chippy Park. Now, if you don't know how to hopscotch or need to brush up on the rules, be sure to attend Mr. Dalrymple's lessons. Yeah. And I see here that the Church of St. Genesius is continuing its tradition of Simon Says competitions with celebrity callers. Oh, yes. And today, the celebrity caller is going to be Dr. Faraday. You're calling again, yeah. Well, that doesn't seem quite right, and, oh, I believe I made a mistake. I've confused myself. The celebrity caller will be Marjorie Flowerdew, and if you win the competition, Mrs. Flowerdew promises to come take a look at your flower garden, if you have one. And if you don't, she'll let you clip a few buds from hers. No, that's Certainly seems worth playing for, doesn't it? So, come on, get up, get dressed, and get out there. Don't let the day slip away or you'll feel like a downer. And we can't have downers, right? Smashing. And now, the catchy new song from our favourite new band.
Okay. Categories reset. Alright. There's a lot of news hour. Well. Wow, number 3. There was still some on the other side. I should really finish that one off first. Tastes amazing. Let's go for that. Top one.
Ah, hello. Welcome to today's edition of That Tastes Amazing. What is it? This is the show where we help you expand your nutritional horizons. You know, you can eat a lot more things than you've ever dreamt of. And I'm here to show you what. Now, today we're going to talk about the wonderful world of flour extenders and bread substitutes. Of course, a lot of you are already using flour substitutes, and bread doesn't have to be made of wheat flour. Ground barley, for example, is scrumptious. And why wouldn't it be? Barley is the key ingredient in beer.
Oh.
Now I've got your attention, haven't I?
Yep.
Making beer is like making tea. You pour hot water over partly sprouted barley grains. But after all this beer tea, it's called wort, by the way, after it's been poured off to ferment into beer, well, there are bags and bags full of used barley. Now, can you believe that people used to feed spent mash to cows? What a waste! I mean, of course, it's not as yummy as it used to be, but there are still a few calories left. All you need to do is grind the used barley into flour in the kind of hand mill that you used to use for coffee beans. Now, if you've already sold your hand mill, barley can be pounded into flour with an ordinary mortar. Now, of course, that'll use and require a lot more elbow grease, like this. That'll really build up those muscles. Now, once you've got your barley flour, you just jolly well mix it in with wheat flour. You can get it, that is. See, flour provides the sticky gluten that holds bread together. So the more flour you can mix in, the better. Ideally, proportions are 1 cup of barley to 1 cup of flour. However, if you really like the taste of barley, you can always mix in 2 cups to 1 cup of flour. It'll have a more crumbly, more cake-like consistency. I love a crumble cake. Don't you? You could always eat it in a bowl with a spoon. After all, it's going to look the same when it comes out the other end, isn't it? Well, so much for used barley.
Ow!
Now, if you can still get your hands on a potato flour is another excellent extender for your flour supplies. Very important. You must slice your potatoes as thin as possible, as if you're making crisps. In fact, if you've got oil to fry them in, you can just skip making flour and go right to making crisps. Machine oil will do just as well as fat or grease. But if bread is what you're about, then slice your potato slices until you can break them with your hand. If your oven works, you can dry them in the oven, but a fireplace is just as good. Just make sure you dry them and don't actually cook them. The key is that you don't want a lot of water in your potato flour. Just move them a little bit away from the fire. Now, I'm not actually going to slice this potato because the drying process takes several hours and, well, we haven't got all day, have we?
Nope.
Oh, yes. I've got plans to you later, Mr. Potato. You've got a date with a hot pot full of boiling oil. Some people seem to think that sawdust is a good flour extender. Well, they're certainly using their English imaginations, aren't they? We've always been good at coming up with clever solutions to just about any problem, eh? It's certainly easy to get sawdust. You just saw some wood. And yes, sawdust will indeed fill you up. It's very slow to digest, which makes for a full tummy all day long.
Just a reminder, whatever happens, do not eat sawdust. Whatever he says, whatever he does, it is not good for you. Okay, so do not listen to a word he's saying about sawdust eating. Let's continue.
Make sure it's powdery and not too rough, or it'll irritate your stomach. Do bear in mind that sawdust has surprisingly little nutritional value. Man cannot live on sawdust alone. If you're looking for a better use of sawdust, it's handy to use as a mulch in your garden.
Oh,
it
that was
helps
allowed.
Aerate your soil. And if you have a typical Hamlin clay under your house, a bit of sawdust is just the thing to mix in to lighten up that soil. And the same goes for wheat chaff. Fills the tummy, but after a while you'll need to eat something nutritious. Best to dig it into your victory garden where it'll do your vegetables a world of good. Listen to me, this isn't my gardening show, is it? Let's get back to flower extenders. Remember, if you're harvesting wild seeds, they won't contain any joy, and neither will potatoes unless you've watered them yourself from water out of the tap. And especially sawdust and chaff, they don't have any joy at all. So remember to adjust your dose accordingly. And bear in mind, if sawdust or chaff is all you have, just up your dose of joy a little. They'll fill your tummy, and you won't be at all upset that you're a little bit hungry. You might even forget that you haven't eaten at all. But just get back to real food as soon as you can, and you'll be right as rain. Oh, I'm afraid I've come to the end of our time. This is Uncle Jack wishing you an amazing breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Tune in next time, when we explore what to do with meat that's gone a bit off. See you soon.
See ya, buddy. Everybody who is watching, do be sure to leave a like. It'll help the channel out and hopefully get me some more viewers. So yeah, leave a like to the video. Let's see, 99, well, what's that one? Famous Britons, what's the bottom one? Sarah Bandy, let's have a look. Ah. It's a music song. I don't know it. Alright. Let's go well. Number 2.
And welcome to today's edition of Well, the show where we talk about how to be your physical best. Now, we all know what to do about the blahs, don't we? If you're feeling a little bit blue, here's an easy fix. Pop another joy. You can't overdose on happiness. Being in Wellington Wells means never having to feel sorry for yourself. But there are some ailments of the body, and though you might feel perfectly happy, you might be having trouble keeping your food down. And you might be having trouble keeping your food in. There's a surprisingly nasty little disease called cholera. Yes, its main symptoms are vomiting and diarrhea. You wind up doing so much of both that, in the end, you've nothing to throw up except clear liquid and nothing to come out the other end except a sort of rice water. Now, I'm afraid I'm going to show you a rather ghastly photograph, but it's all in a good cause. I hope that's not what you're seeing in the pot. But if you are, then someone in your house may have cholera. Now, cholera is a bit dangerous, but it has a very simple treatment. In the past, you see, we all used to take all sorts of pills for it. But it turns out that the most important thing is to drink lots and lots of water. Yes, you can lose 10 to 20 quarts of fluid a day from cholera. In fact, people with cholera can wind up with wrinkled hands like they spent too long in the tub. The cure for that is easy. Drink like a fish. Don't be afraid to drink 10 to 20 quarts of water per day. Ideally, of course, you'll mix half a teaspoon of salt, 6 teaspoons of sugar, and a little bit of mashed banana in each quart of water. But if you don't have sugar or banana, and who does, the salt's important too. And here's where you may need a bit of help. If you're drinking that much water, you don't need to take any additional joy pills, and you may find yourself forgetting a thing or two. Now, if there are other people in your household, please make sure that they know not to let you take any more joy pills for a while, and to make sure you keep drinking lots and lots of water. Now, how do you ensure that you don't get cholera? Well, be sure to only drink pure water, Now, there's absolutely no truth to any rumour that the water in Wellington Wells is contaminated by bacteria. However, you can never be too careful. So, if you can, if anyone on your street is having a lot of tummy trouble, you should boil all water, especially if it's been exceptionally rainy. I mean, not your ordinary, wonderful English rain, but severe thunderstorms. If your gas isn't working, just filtering your water through a cloth is quite helpful in reducing the bacteria in the water. Why don't you just go down the pub? The beer is definitely safe to drink. And if you're caring for someone with a lot of tummy trouble, be sure to wash your hands lots. And if you can, get some bleach. Be sure to bleach the bed sheets. It's a very good idea. And if you can't, well, then hanging them out on a sunny day until they're quite warm and dry will work wonders, because nothing disinfects like sunlight. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask a doctor. You know doctors, they're always looking out for you. And remember, no matter what you do, make sure you're taking enough joy. There's no excuse anymore for feeling bad. You don't have to. Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again next time when we'll hear the good news about leprosy. It's slow, and it's not at all true that your limbs just fall off. So don't worry if you're losing sensation in your extremities. You'll probably die of something else first. This is Dr.
That's
Jack
not funny.
Wilson saying, stay well, 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 and don't forget to take your drug. Goodbye.
That's not funny. Leprosy is a real thing. Anyway, what's that one again? Famous Britons, okay. What's going
And
on?
now it's time for Famous Britons, the show in which Jack Worthing, that's me, interviews some of our most celebrated countrymen. Today, we have in our studio His Majesty King George III. Your Majesty, how are you feeling today? Mad, really? Well, is it us who's mad, or
It's him. He's playing both characters.
is it the entire world? Oh, no, Jack, no, it's me. Absolutely me. Do you know, in fact, it's got to my attention, some of my subjects affectionately refer to me as Mad King George. Still, you accomplished quite a bit in your reign, didn't you? Yes, I have, Jack, and I'm glad to talk about some of the more serious things of my reign. I grew smashing carrots. Really did. In fact, I was known as Farmer George. But those damned rabbits, Jack, always eating my carrots. You beat the French. And you know, in those days, they weren't even always orange. No. They were mostly sort of red and white and sometimes beige. The French? No, Jack. The carrots! Do try to keep up, man. But the French, yes, we did beat them twice. Sadly. And, you're famous for giving the Americans their liberty, eh? Oh, Jack. Those pesky Americans. Any idiot can grow vegetables in the New World. You just chop down a tree and there's your farm. I mean, try doing that in a plot of land that's been farmed for 2,000 years. Good luck to you, man. But Jack, the damned rabbits were always eating my lettuce. Well, you do sound a little upset. But I'm mad. I'm absolutely mad. Mad King George, barking. Have you tried joy? Joy? What's that? Well, it's this marvelous pill that makes you forget everything and think of all the wonderful things in life. Well, I wish I'd had some of that. I might not have been quite so mad. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. His Majesty King George III. If only he'd had joy, he might not have gone mad at all. Ask your doctor if joy is right for you. Of course it's right for you. Next week, on Famous Britons, I'll be interviewing King Arthur. Do you know he's planning a comeback? Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in later for more Uncle Jack.
King Arthur. Really? Okay, Nighty Night is the last one for this set.
Well, it's getting late, isn't it? It's time for all good citizens to be getting ready to go to bed. Would you like me to read you a bedtime story?
Yes, please.
Of course you would. Well, sit down next to the fire, if you've got one, and wrap a blanket around yourselves, and I'll tell you something that happened. Tonight's story is called The Pied Piper, and some people say it actually took place, and some people say it actually took place in our very own Hamelin. But who knows? The past is deep and dark and filled with mists and strange things that move in the night. It's best not to go into it. Strange things happen in fairy tales, but even strange...
These nails need a trim. Look at them. Look at them. Eee. Look at those plastic hands. My precious. Let's carry on.
Stranger and nastier things happen in the past. Thank goodness we're not living then, and our days are bright and filled with joy. Once upon a time, there was a town called Hamlin. It wasn't the name of the town. That's just what it was called. It was a happy town, full of rich merchants and hard-working smiths and beautiful girls and jovial lads. But awful things can happen to good people. And little did the people of Hamlin know, but dark times were coming. There was a hard winter when wolves came down from the hills and attacked the sheep. And the wolves brought crows which would wait for the sight of rotting meat and then descend in swarms. And some said, though no one ever saw it, that the crows did not always wait for death. And some said it was not only wolves who were murdering animals out in the fields. The crows knew that they only said caw. But if the winter was hard, the summer was harder still. For the summer brought rats. They came onto the beaches from a ship that had sailed from France. At first there were just a few, but soon there were hundreds of rats, then thousands of them. They swarmed into the town, and they said to themselves in their rat speech, "Here is a rich town. Let us eat everything we can." So they ate the grain, they chewed their way into cupboards to eat the cheese, they even ate chickens when they could corner them. Nothing was safe. The villagers, well, they were at their wits' end. If you can kill one rat, you can set traps for 12 rats. But who can kill 1,000 rats? As long as there are 2 rats, in weeks there'll be dozens, and in weeks after that, there will be thousands again. The villagers were in despair. But one day, a tall man came to town. He was a piper. He played a pipe. So they called him the Pied Piper, for he wore a coat of many colours. He was not very good at playing the pipes, but when the villagers told him to stop playing, he told them, "Although I'm not very good at playing to entertain people, I know what to play to rats." Well, who would play music for rats, you ask? Well, the piper never explained, but he offered the town to pipe their rats away. He said, "It'll cost you a great deal of money. I promise you, when it's all over, there will be no more rats." He even promised that if he left a single rat, he would pay him nothing. Now, the villagers of Hamlin were not poor, but they liked their money. Still, they thought they would never have to pay the piper. I mean, after all, who could possibly rid the town of every last rat? So they agreed to the piper's terms. And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again tomorrow evening, and I'll tell you the rest of the story of the Pied Piper of Hamlin. Will the town get rid of their rats? And how will they pay the piper? It's a lovely story, and I'm sure you'll enjoy how it ends. For now, this is Jack Worthing saying good night all, and see you tomorrow.
Bye. Joy. Let's go there. Go on. In you go. Let's go, Joy. Oh, it's just music. Okay. Out of the blue. It's another song. Let's try it out.
As long as we are true,
The sun shines out the blue. As long as we are true, stars come into view. As long as we are true. It's oh.
And you.
And you.
You'll never change my mind. I'm too lonesome when you're not around.
You'll never change my mind. I'm too lonesome when you're not around. I'm alone. Love that moves too fast, slips in and out of grasp. Love that moves this fast can make a world collapse. Love that's here to last. Don't let it move too fast. You'll never change my mind. Too lonesome when you're not around. I'm alone. You'll never change my mind. Too lonesome when you're not around. I'm alone. You'll never change my mind. I'm too lonesome when you're not around. I'm alone. Oh, I'm crazier now when you're not around. I'm alone. Yeah. Woo. Oh, well, that was interesting. Oh, now I can hear voices. I'm just gonna mute.
Well, hello there. What exactly are you doing? Yes, you there. This is Uncle Jack talking directly to you. Are you where you belong right now? And are you supposed to be doing that? These are very important questions for all of us. As patriotic citizens of Wellington Wells, it's not enough to just look out for yourself. We all have to look out for each other. And that means asking ourselves these questions every day. Are we where we're supposed to be? Are we doing what we're supposed to be doing? For if we're all doing our duty, will we preserve and thrive into the future? You never can be too careful. Take it from me, Jack Worthing. Stay where you belong and do what you should be doing, and you never have to worry.
That was a quick one. And I have unlocked a key. Alright. Duplicator music. Ah. Okay. Let's jam to this one. Do, 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 do. I'm the duplicator. Yes, yes. Wait, well, that's an improv. Weird, creepy photo. Ooh. Oh. Oh. She was creepy. What's this one? Seaside Town. It's just music tracks. Gamescom. Let's go on this. Probably be another trailer. Of sorts.
London Bridge has fallen down. It's fallen down. Fallen down. London Bridge has fallen down. Take the keys and lock them up. Yes, go on, do it. Lock them up. Yes, lock them up. Take the keys and lock them up. My fair lady. Everything is quite all right. Sleepy tight.
All right. Quite all right.
Everything's coming out of sight. My fair lady.
Oh. Very nice.
Now everything's better under the sun.
Ah, it's this one again.
Talk in the dark
Under your smile.
Don't be afraid, all you gotta do is run. 'Cause when we were young, we just a child, and we start to all we do is smile. Let's try a stranger on for a while.
Something to change. A brand new smile.
Hide all the raindrops under your tongue. They're only tears. There's nothing to fear. All you gotta do is just smile.
ba ba.
All you gotta do is just a smile, cry, it's a
Well, that was a good one. Georgie Joy. Hold on. What was that? No. I am on. Right, Georgie Joy. Last one for this category. Oh, it's another one. Green grass.
long laden sassafras, all the things that summer would have when I'm with you. Tangerine, lemonade and sunny dream, soda pop and football team when I'm with you.
Everybody dance along.
Demon eyes, bloody bats and human pies, severed limbs and compromise when I'm not with you. Screaming trees, all the things I can't unsee, rolling heads and falling teeth when I'm not with
you.
Joy, it's time to make you mine.
Oh. Well, there you go. Let's find another category. Humour Hour. I hear you. News Hour. Number 10. It's going to be a lot there. Nighty Night. Oh, there's another sleepy one. When You're Gone. Let's go there. Come on. Use a key. There you go. When You're Gone.
Thought I knew the difference between heaven and hell, between the dark and the light. Every day it gets a little hard to tell, and both of us can't be right when you're gone. Both of us can't be right when you're gone.
Baby, it's a long way home. Couldn't stop my head today from floating away over the houses and the cars. Finally, I thought it must be better this way. He's up there Okay, that just sounded weird. I'm playing the drums with my hands. Amazing. Yay. Dead of Winter. Oh my, there's more music.
When the moon that's lowest place in the sky and the city around you is still, I come back to the place where we started it all. Wait for you, my love, I will. I would sacrifice the promise that I made before you took my hand. I would wander down and hungry like a stranger in a stranger land. If my pleading don't surprise you, and if nothing satisfies you, then ragged alone I stand in the dead of winter. If I had the moon and the stars and more diamonds than I could spin, I'd betray them all for the brush of your cheek. Betray them, darling, I will. I would justify the demon whose desires running through my veins. I would crawl through the gutter, just dragging that ball and chain. I would give up my possessions and all of my discretions till nothing more remains but the dead of winter. Gonna call the lawyer, call the teacher, call the preacher, call the doctor, said to take my pill. Gotta call the madman on the telly, said we had our fill. I would sacrifice the promise that I made before you took my hand. I would wander down and hungry like a stranger in a stranger land. If my pleading don't surprise you and nothing satisfies you, then ragged alone I stand. Yes, in
The Dead of Winter. Hey, 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 what's this moving? On cloud 9. It's probably all music. Wait, not you. On cloud 9. Okay. Curious behavior. I can see people walking around. That's cool. Okay. Nighty Night number 1. That's the last one.
Well, it's getting late, isn't it? It's time for all good citizens to be getting ready to go to bed. Would you like me to read you a bedtime story?
Go ahead.
Of course you would. Well, gather round, citizens, gather round, and I'll tell you a bedtime story. Tonight's story is called Little Red Riding Hood.
What? We just heard that one. Right, this will be the start of the story. Because I kind of watched them a bit backwards. This is why it's going to do like this.
Once, a young woman was told by her older sister to bring a pie and some milk to their mother, who lived in the forest. The young woman was known as Little Red Riding Hood because she was not very tall, and she liked to wear a red cloak that her mother had knitted for her because it went with her red, red hair and her red, red mouth. As she was walking through the forest, a wolf came up to her, for in those days wolves roamed free in the woods. The wolf asked her, "Hello, little English girl, where are you going?" Little Red Riding Hood was not afraid of wolves, and she had a very good knife in her basket. "I'm going to my mother's house in the woods," said Little Red Riding Hood. "Ah, which path are you taking?" asked the wolf. "The low road or the high road?" "The low road," said Little Red Riding Hood, for it was the shortest. "Ah, then we must short part ways," said the wolf, "for I'm taking the high road." And Little Red Riding Hood took the low road, and the wolf took the high road. But the wolf could travel very fast when he wanted to. And though he was travelling on the high road, running up and down the ridges overlooking the forest, he reaches Little Red Riding Hood's mother's house long before Little Red Riding Hood was even in shouting distance, and while the sun was still high in the sky. "Knock, knock," said the wolf in a not very good imitation of Little Red Riding Hood's voice. "Who's there?" asked Little Red Riding Hood's mother. "It's the Little Red Riding Hood," said the wolf. "You don't sound a little bit like my daughter," said Little Red Riding Hood's mother. "Yeah, I'm hoarse and out of breath, for I've been running away from the wolf who lives in the forest. Please, let me in, because I can see him coming for me." "Oh, no," said the wolf. "Well, you'd better come inside," said Little Red Riding Hood's mother, and she opened the door. And the wolf quickly cut her throat and poured her blood into a bottle.
Ugh.
He ate most of her, but saved some of the juiciest cuts. These he sliced onto a platter, for he was very good with a knife, even for a wolf. Then the wolf put on the mother's pyjamas and got into bed. I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in tomorrow evening, and I'll tell you the rest of the story of Little Red Riding Hood. It's a lovely story, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the rest of it. For now, this is Jack Worthing saying good night all, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, we know the ending for that one, because we heard it before. Right. Humour hour. Let's go for some humour. Oh, did that light just come on? Anyway, humour hour.
Hello, and welcome to today's edition of Humour Hour, the show where you tell me jokes. Well, I tell the jokes, but you send them in. And the first joke comes from Mr. Nigel Plaskett of the Barton. Dear Uncle Jack, I love your show and Humour Hour is my favourite. Here's one I heard at the pub. A man walks into a doctor's office. He has a cucumber up his nose and a carrot in his left ear and a banana in his right ear. What's the matter with me, he asks the doctor. The doctor replies, you're not eating properly. That's excellent, Mr. Plaskett. Very good. I can certainly think of better ways to eat a banana, if I could get one. Very good. This one from Ridgewell Hawks of Hither Lane. I went to see my old friend Angus McTavish the other day. I sense a Scottish joke coming on, do you? I went to see my old friend Angus McTavish the other day, and he was stripping all the wallpaper off his living room wall. Angus, I said, I can't believe you're redecorating. I'm not, he said. I'm moving house. I'm moving house. You could just hear him, eh? Because we all know how stingy the Scots are.
Oh.
Good one, Ridgewell Hawks. Very good.
Can't say that.
Scottish, eh? What do we have here? This is from Antonia Penelegion of Upper Watling Street. My husband is always complaining that his eye hurts whenever he drinks tea. Well, take the spoon out of the cup, dear, I tell him. Well, you certainly have a very stupid husband, Mrs. Penelegion. Excellent jokes today, my friends. And here's one today from our faithful contributor, Mr. Persky Blatyang. Mr. Blatyang, what have you got for us today? Yeah, very good. An Englishman, a Scotsman and an Irishman walk into a pub together.
Okay.
Each buy a pint of good English ale. And just as they're about to drink deep, 3 flies land in each of their pints and get stuck in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Englishman pushes his beer away in disgust. I'm not bloody well going to drink that, he says. The Scotsman spoons the fly out of the bubbles and drinks the pint. Waste not, want not, he says. And the Irishman grabs the fly by its wings, holds it over his mug and says, spit it out, you bastard! Spit it all out! Very good, Mr. Pesky, of Duke of Leicester. Though I have to say, personally, I'm with the Scot in that one. Waste not, want not. Sound advice. And this is from Camilla Buckworth-Jones of Peel Street. A man goes to his doctor. He touches his shoulder and winces. Doctor, he says, it hurts when I touch my shoulder. Then he touches his nose, and it hurts when I touch my nose. He touches his knee. He says, it hurts when I touch my knee. The doctor says, well, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised you've got a broken finger. That's wonderful, Mr. Bickworth-Jones. Very good.
Broken finger.
What a twit. Here's one from Felicity Royston, writing from the George and Dragon, here at Hamelin. I thought I'd try the new Joy diet, she says. I didn't know there was a Joy diet. I think it's working. I've lost several days already. Yes, that's... One sometimes forgets a thing or two, don't we, if we overdo it. You know, I actually think it's best to write things down if they're really important. In fact, I seem to have written a note to myself just the other day. Let's see what it says. Don't forget to do it. Well, I should be a little more specific next time, eh? Well, that was a bit strange. Now, let's see what else we've got. I've got one here from Cyril Pike of Inchinnan Circle. I saw my friend Jeremy walking along the street with his wife the other day. Suddenly, she fell into a manhole, but Jeremy kept walking. I ran over to him and I... Good God, man, didn't you notice your wife just fell in a manhole 100 feet back? Oh, thank goodness, said Jeremy. I thought I'd gone deaf. Lovely, lovely. So thoughtful of you, Mr. Pike. I do hope they got her out of the sewer.
Oh, dear.
One less mouth to feed, eh? Think about that. And this one is from Corporal Lindsay Douglas of the Victory Memorial Camp. He's one of the loyal members of the Home Army. Do you know what's one of the toughest things about having to wear camouflage trousers? You can never find them. Oh. Ah, yes! Because they're camouflaged. Very good. Brilliant, Corporal Douglas. Very, very funny. And may I say, we salute your service. It's good to know that you're there to protect us when the next war comes. I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. If you hear a good joke, please don't hesitate to drop a note marked Humour Hour at our studio, 2 Marlborough House, in the centre of Wellington Wells. Tune in again next time for the best in English humour. See you soon.
English humour. Not you. Go away. Art book. Oh. Art book for the game. Ooh. They're cool posters. Wow. November the 13th, 2018. Well, I think we're a little bit late. Okay. I hear you, number 2.
And now it's time for I Hear You, the part of our show where Jack Worthing, that's me, answered your letters and questions about our life in Wellington Wells. And today's first letter is from Rupert Scribner of 12 Spanker Lane. Mr. Scribner asks, Uncle Jack, yeah, that's me, is it possible to take too much joy? Well, Mr. Scribner, it is possible, but you really have to work at it. You have to take a great deal of joy before you experience any toxic effects. Joy is quite safe in the short term, and you can take up to 10 pills per day if you're a man of average weight. However, there are side effects, as we all know. Joy not only makes you happy, it suppresses bad old memories. If you take too much, it may temporarily suppress memories that you actually need to get around. Do you have trouble identifying the people in your house, and yet they seem quite friendly and affectionate? Do you find yourself wondering exactly what your house looks like and how to get to it from wherever you are? Does it seem as if the shops and the streets have all been moved around behind your back, and the map that you have in your head of your environment doesn't quite match the one in your memory? Well then, you may have taken rather too much joy. It might be best to ask a friend to take you home so you can sleep it off. All right, good. This one is from Royston Farrell of Needfold Passage. Dear Mr. Worthing, well, there's no need to call me Mr. Royston. We're all friends here, aren't we? And besides, Mr. Worthing is my father. Anyway, my question is, writes Mr. Farrell, what's all this talk about a joy spiral? Dear Mr. Farrell, the so-called joy spiral is an imaginary syndrome in which you take too much joy, Then you forget you've taken your joy, so you take more joy, and then you forget that you've taken that, and so on and so on and so on. But Mr. Farrell, I can assure you that no such thing exists as a joy spiral. I mean, you might as well believe in the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus or those people who tell you that we lost the war. It's ridiculous. Long before any such joy spiral catches hold of you, you'll probably pass out, and when you wake up, your memory will be restored. Yes, it's true that you might be a bit confused about where things are, but any passerby will be happy to point you in the right direction. All right, Mr. Farrell? Good. Thank you for writing. And, hang on a minute. Ah, a scented envelope. I like those. And this one here is from Mrs. Joan Tamlin Goggin of Shagbear Wood in central Wellington Wells. Mrs. Tamlin Goggin writes, I know we beat the Germans and made them abandon our sceptred isle, but how did we do it? Didn't they have tanks? Mrs. Tamlin Goggin, thank you very much for writing. Yes, it's easy to be confused of those long-gone days, and you're right, indeed they did have tanks, and quite a few of them. And if ever you're inside of the Victory Memorial Camp, you can see those German tanks lined up as if it were 1948. And I'll tell you how we beat them. With English cleverness, English patience, and English fortitude. That's how. If you want more details, and I don't know why you'd want more details, but if you did want more, you can get a wonderful book called Our Glorious Victory by Jack Worthing. Yes, that's me. And it's available in just about every bookstore in Wellington Wells, and it's full of questions from all your favourite wartime heroes, from the generals to the common Tommy trudging through the mud. But you already know the lesson, Mrs. Tamlin Goggin. Patience and fortitude. Now stop dwelling in the past and enjoy our sunshine, why don't you? Well, I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. I hope this has been informative. Tune in again tomorrow for more fascinating glimpses into the lives of your fellow citizens of Wellington Wells. This is Jack Worthing saying, cheerio, and on with your day. I'll see you soon.
Nicey nice. Wait,
Well, it's getting late, isn't it? It's time for all good citizens to be getting ready to go to bed. You don't want to be out after dark. Would you like me to read you a bedtime story?
Yeah.
Of course you would. Well, curl up in front of the telly and Uncle Jack will tell you a story.
Wait, like
Tonight's
this?
story is called Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Yeah, we heard the ending.
Once upon a time,
Not the beginning.
there were three bears who lived in a house in the woods. They were called Henry Bear, Jane Bear, and Jane's father, Old Edward Bear. They had barely enough food to feed themselves, but it was enough. Every morning, Henry Bear had a big bowl of porridge because he was big, and Jane had a medium-sized bowl because she was medium-sized, and Old Edward Bear had a small bowl, but though he was wise, he was tiny and needed to preserve his strength, and he didn't need to eat that much either. And Henry had a big chair, and Jane had a medium-sized chair, and Old Edward had a small chair that was padded and very comfortable. And each of them had a bed to sleep in, a small bed for Old Edward Bear, and a medium-sized bed for Jane Bear, and a big bed for Henry Bear. Every morning, Jane Bear made porridge for the three of them, just enough so they would have energy throughout the day, and she gave them each their joy, 1 pill for Old Edward Bear, 2 for herself, and 3 for Big Henry Bear. They took their joy right away, of course, because they knew it's always best to start the day with joy. And then they would go out for a walk in the woods to find berries to put in their porridge while it cooled, because they knew berries are very healthy in porridge. But one morning, while they were out, a young woman came by their house. Her name was Goldilocks, for she had golden hair, but she was very proud. and she was always getting into mischief and causing her neighbours trouble, because she thought she was entitled to everything because of her pretty golden hair. Well, the three bears were sensible bears, and they'd locked up their house. It's always best to leave your house locked, because you can never be too careful. But when Goldilocks came by the bears' house one morning and noticed that the bears were not there, she said to herself, "What a nice house! I wonder what is in it." So she checked all the windows, and sure enough, one of the window latches was loose. Goldilocks said to herself, "Oh, stupid bears! They have not protected themselves so well." So she pried the window open and went into the bear's house, even though she did not belong there. And she found herself in front of the dining table. Now, Goldilocks was not particularly hungry, and she was used to much better food than porridge, but she believed that anything she could take belonged to her. So she decided to taste the porridge. First, she decided to sit in the large chair and try the large bowl. "Oh, this porridge is much too hot," she said to herself. Then she decided to sit in the small chair and try the small bowl. "Oh, this porridge is much too cold," she said to herself. So she decided to sit in the medium-sized chair and taste from the medium-sized bowl. "Oh, yum, it's perfect," she said to herself, and she ate up all the porridge in the bowl. Well, eating all that porridge made Goldilocks very sleepy. "I wonder what sort of beds these bears have," she said to herself. So she looked for the bedroom, and as the bears had a very small house, she found it right away. And she saw that there were 3 beds. At first, she tried the smallest bed, which was old Edward Bear's bed, but this bed was much too small for her, and no matter how much she thrashed around, her feet hung out. So she tried the big bed, which was Henry Bear's, but the big bed was very high, and no matter where she rolled around in the bed, Goldilocks was afraid that she'd fall out while she was asleep. So she tried the medium-sized bed, which was Jane Bear's bed, and she said to herself, "This is just right. I shall make this one my bed." And in no time at all, she was fast asleep. And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again tomorrow evening, and I'll tell you the rest of the story of Goldilocks and the 3 bears. It's a lovely story, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the rest of it. For now, this is Jack Worthing saying good night all, and see you tomorrow.
Right, last one. News Hour. Number 10.
What do you do if you're with a downer? Well, if it's you, then just excuse yourself and take your joy right away. You'll be as right as rain in no time. But what if it's not you? Well, the first thing to do is ask the downer, have you had enough joy today? Most sensible people will realize they've forgotten their morning joy. After all, forgetfulness can happen to any of us. In fact, it's a sign you're taking your joy. So remind them and they'll take their joy right away and, yes, problem solved. But what if the person won't take his joy? Well then, you need to step up and do your patriotic duty to your fellow citizen of Wellington Wells. If you can see a policeman or a doctor, simply notify them that there's a downer in the area, and yes, they'll take care of the rest. After all, it's their job. But if there are no authorities, you may need to take action yourself. Call your fellow citizens and let them know they've got a downer in their midst. They'll help you chase and subdue the downer and make sure he takes his joy. Once he's recovered his senses, well, you can let him go on his way. And if for any reason he fails to recover, don't feel bad. Sad feelings are contagious, and one bad apple can spoil the lot. Go on your way and have a lovely day.
Ah, that was a quick one. And I have a key. I think that's this whole one done. Yeah, it is. Not bad. Phew. That's a lot. Now, this side. News hour, all that stuff. And there you go. That's all unlocked. Let's play some Simon Says before we go. Oh. No, that's not what I wanted. Oh, it's Playtime with Jack, that's called. I got the wrong thing. There you go, number 1.
It's time for our daily recreational activity, to show where you're the star. Come on, everybody. It's time for everyone to gather in front of the telly. And if you're inside, be sure to go and find a telly outside. This game is much more fun to play in a crowd. Today, we're going to be playing Simon Says. Are you ready to play?
Yep.
Okay, begin. Ha ha! I didn't say Simon Says, I got you already. Now, you all know the rules, don't you? I'm going to tell you to do something.
Hold on, I just lost my earpiece. There we go.
Don't say Simon Says, you don't do it. If I do say Simon Says, you do it. Okay? Ready?
Yeah.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
You there. Are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, come on, don't be shy. You know you want to. Of course you do. There's a good lad. Everybody give him a hand. No, wait a minute. I didn't say Simon Says. Okay. Simon Says, begin. All right. Simon Says, put your hands on your head. Simon Says, touch your feet. Simon Says, never mind. Clap your hands. Da. Yes, you there. You're out.
Every
and you
time.
Too. You're out. Go on. Out you go. Good. I didn't say Simon Says, but you got out, so yes, you're out. You have to be very careful. All right. Simon Says, lift your right knee. Simon Says, lift your left knee.
I can't do my
lift
knee.
Both your knees. And if you're on the floor, well, you didn't wait for Simon, did you? Did you know that Simon Says was invented in 1266 when Simon de Montfort had control of King Henry III? And no matter what King Henry ordered, it didn't matter until Simon Says. Clap your hands. Oh, I did say Simon Says. You see, I just said it as part of another sentence. So, yes, you and you're out. Simon Says you're out. Well, you're all doing brilliantly. Isn't this fun, eh? I think it's great fun. Simon Says, have fun. Brilliant. Simon Says, flap your arms. Simon says, flap them again. And again. No!
Oh.
If you flap them a third time, you're out.
Oh.
Simon says, banana bread. Oh my God, I don't even know why I said that. I don't even know what it means. Simon says, jump. Simon says, skip in place. Simon says, patty cake. Simon says, jump again. Simon says, kick. Clap. Simon says, flap. Clap. Flap. Simon says, jump. Simon says, spin. Simon says, put your hands on your hips. Simon says, put your head on your knees. Simon says, put your head on your hands. Put your hands on your hips. Simon says, jump. No, I didn't say Simon says. So you there, listen carefully. I didn't say Simon says. You must listen to me very carefully or you'll be out. Please extinguish all cigarettes. I'm just kidding. Who has cigarettes anymore? If you do, Simon says, give me one. Simon says, scratch your head. Simon says, shout. Wow, very good. That was brilliant. Run in circles. I didn't say Simon says. Simon says, ignore my next command. Simon says, fall on the ground. Simon says, don't jump. Jump. Don't jump. Simon says, jump. Sing Rule Britannia. Ah. You all have very lovely singing voices, but I didn't say Simon says. Simon says, fall down. Get up. Simon says, roll over. Simon says, stand up. Yes.
Yeah.
That was terrific. It was really very, very good. I hope all of you had a fantastic time. I trust you all brought cake because I did promise cake and I hate to be a liar. Well, the game is over. Simon says, spin. Simon says, now the game is over. Simon says, I hope you enjoyed yourselves. And I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time. Tune in again next time for another rousing daily recreational activity. Thank you all for playing. See you soon.
And last one to finish the stream. La la la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Tonight, come out with me. We can head into town like we used to, wild and free. 'Cause there is no way of ever knowing what awaits us but the sun. When your love comes round, we've only begun. Everybody sing along. Even if you don't know the words, they're on screen. We can walk down by the beach, big beach, just you and me. We've got life underneath our feet, happy as can be. Can you help me please? 'Cause I'm down here on my knees. Only your love can rescue me. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La la la. Hey, la la la, everybody. Very good. And let's click the exit and go. Until next time. So yeah, there was still more to do. I will be doing another part, just not today. And Uncle Jack Live. Here we are. We happy few. Uncle Jack Live VR. I hope everybody enjoyed. If you do want to see more like this, leave a like, comment and subscribe. Yeah. There's nothing else to say, but thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. And please be a subscriber because it'll help my channel out. Plus, when I hit a certain amount of subscribers, there will be a giveaway. So if you do want to be a part of that, all you have to do, subscribe. Yeah. Until next time, enjoy. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Bye bye. 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 Bye.